Welcome back, guys. So today we'll be taking a look at the Hong Kong stocks. Before I begin, remember take a second to give the video a like and subscribe as a great help our channel. Without further ado, let's first start off with the Hang Seng Index. So the Hang Seng Index seems to be trading sideways for quite a period of time. So it seems like it still can't seem to break above this 20,000 psychological resistance. And even if we do break it, we just hold it for a couple of hours or even days. So you can see that this 23.6% at 19,950 is not holding too well. In fact, this Friday we rejected off this conversion line, this blue conversion line, and it seems pretty bearish. So it puts us in a very good position to actually retest this 19,178 in the upcoming week or even weeks ahead. In the event that we can punch up, the first resistance to watch will be around 19,864, and the second resistance will be around 2290 for this Hang Seng Index. So let's move on to the Hang Seng Tech Index. So Hang Seng Tech Index is actually still above this 4082 critical support at 23.6%. But it's likely for us to actually come down to actually retest this 3755 if the 4000 psychological support level do not hold. Resistance to clear will be 4262, the first resistance, and the second resistance will be 4392. Let's move on to some of its constituents, starting from the Tencent. So you can see that Tencent, after it broke down its recent low of 297, it started to turn very bearish, and we actually broke down all the way towards 288. So from 288 all the way up to 406.8, you can see that there is a lot of resistance on the way up. So we will have to clear it slowly. You can see that even on this particular 2 days, last 2 days, in fact, we actually tried to test this rate baseline at 315.4. So that is a good sign for now. If we can break up this 316, then 333, 347, and 361 are potential resistance upcoming for Tencent. Moving on to the next particular stock, or the popular one, which is Alibaba or 9988. You can see that Alibaba is not doing too good, even though it's barely holding this support level here. So in the event that we were to break down further, then we are likely to see the $80 psychological support being tested in the upcoming week ahead. Resistance to clear will be around 90.30, and the second resistance to clear will be around 96.10 for Alibaba. Moving on to Meituan. So for Meituan, it seems to be studying out the cloud. You can see that it consolidated, but it seems to be appearing a bit bearish, and the cloud support did not hold it too well. You can see that even 38.2% was in fact tested, we bounced off, but we couldn't really get a very good bounce. So the first resistance to watch will be 172, second resistance will be around 178, 179, which coincides with this cloud resistance. In the event that 161 were to break down, it's likely for us to head towards 150 levels to test this 23.6% for 3690 on Meituan. Let's move on to NetEase, 9999. So NetEase, you can see that we already broke down this 50% at 140.7, and 133.0 is a very critical support for NetEase. You can see that buyers step in at this particular support level a couple of times. So if this were to break down, then things will start to turn ugly. We may even head towards 123.6 or even potentially retesting 108.3 for NetEase. Resistance to clear for now will be 140, and second resistance will be around 145. Moving on to NIO or 9866. So you can see that NIO is still consolidating sideways. We are in our cloud support now, so do expect a lot of buyers and sellers around this level. 150 is holding, still holding pretty well for now. In the event you break down, then 138 or even 124 is the next to support to watch for NIO. Resistance to clear will be around this particular zone, around 156, 157. And bear in mind that from a low of 150 to 170, all this is a lot of cloud resistance and at the same time cloud support as well. Moving on to JD.com or 9618. So you can see that 9618 already started breaking down. 38.2% did not hold at 222. So there's a very good chance for us to retest or even test this 209.6 around the 210 psychological support level. If things start to get worse, then $200 psychological resistance may be tested as well. Resistance to clear will be, for now, will be 223, and second resistance will be 233. Next up, we have 9888 or Baidu. So for Baidu, very similar situation, 38.2% is really being tested. We may even close this gap in the upcoming week ahead. You can see that this particular day here, we actually gap up, and this gaps are usually meant to be closed most of the time. This low was 113.6. So essentially, we may be likely a very high chance to head back towards 116.4 or even 104.2 if this 23.6% do not hold. Resistance to clear will be around 131, and second resistance will be 134. Next up, we have 1299, which is AIA. So AIA consolidating sideways, but appearing too bearish. If we were to break down this 23.6%, 7160 would be a good position to potentially enter for 71 for this particular stock if you are intending to enter. So looking at its resistance would be 7670, and next resistance to watch would be the $80 psychological resistance for AIA. Second last stock would be PingAn Insurance or 2318. So you can see that 2318 after breaking down 45.80, we continue to slide further, and there was not much of a bounce. So you can see this very bearish and ugly looking downtrend. So the trend will likely to remain further unless we start to turn up. This blue line must turn up above this red baseline. If we do not turn up like this particular day here, then things will start to turn even worse. So it seems like earnings coming up, so probably not too good earnings, but I may be wrong. So we shall see. Hopefully the $40 psychological support may be a good support to bounce off for here, and we head towards maybe 47 or 48, where we see a lot of cloud resistance. Resistance to clear for now will be 44 and also 46. Lastly, we have Xiaomi Corporation or 1810. So for 1810, you can see that after we broke down this blue conversion line and red baseline, things start to turn ugly. It's of no surprise. 11:30 next week is likely to be threatened and even potentially heading back this 10:30 if the $11 psychological support do not hold for Xiaomi Corporation. Resistance to watch will be around $12 as the first resistance, and second resistance will be 12:30. So overall, the Hang Seng Tech Index and all the other Hang Seng Tech all looking very bearish. If we do not see a bounce next week, then things will start to turn ugly, where we will retest all the previous lows for now. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.